Get your black hands off that wine. You're contaminating it. The Chateau Margaux 1982 crashed. $23,000 shattered across Italian marble. 8:47 p.m. Thursday night. Madison Williams froze. Her hands, steady after 8 months of flawless service, trembled for the first time. La Maison's crystal chandeliers caught her reflection, the only black face in a sea of white uniforms. Derek grabbed her elbow, fingers digging deep. The owner arrives in 15 minutes, Mr. Harrison himself. You disappear when he walks in or you're fired tonight. Madison's phone vibrated. A text she didn't check. She already knew who was coming. Derek hissed, "Did you hear me?" Gone. Invisible. The kitchen door swung. Madison saw something Derek didn't. A silver Bentley pulling up outside. Have you ever watched someone dig their own grave while standing on your property? 8:52 p.m. The humiliation began with precision. "Madison, you're bleeding." Derek pointed at her hand. She looked down. "Nothing. No cut, no blood. I don't see exactly, but customers might think they do. Can't risk it. Amy takes your section tonight." Amy, 2 weeks new, dropped 3 trays yesterday, suddenly became La Maison's star server. Madison watched her struggle with a corkscrew at table 7. The Chens, Madison's regulars, frowned as Amy butchered the wine presentation. Carlos slipped beside Madison. "Recording everything on my phone," he whispered. "This is the 5th time this week, 5 times. 5 different excuses. Too tall, too loud, wrong perfume, wrong walk. Never saying what Derek really meant. Too black. 9:01 p.m. Madison's phone buzzed. 10 minutes. Status? She typed back. Worse than reported. Delete. Send. Delete conversation. Staff meeting. Derek clapped. Mr. Harrison arrived shortly. "Best behavior, everyone." His eyes found Madison. "Some of you need to be less visible." Madison's storage room. "Inventory count. I'm serving," Madison replied. "Not anymore, unless you'd prefer discussing your future here." Future. 8 months of perfect reviews. 8 months of customers requesting her by name. 8 months of training servers who got promoted above her. Mrs. Chen stood up. "Where's Madison?" "She knows my sulfite allergy. She's temporarily reassigned." Derek smiled. "Amy's excellent." "That child?" Mrs. Chen watched Amy Google sulfite's wine meaning on her phone. "We're leaving." "Please, Mrs. Chen, let me explain." Mr. Chen pulled out his phone. "Madison generates 30% of your tips." "We've tracked it. We're investors, Mr. Whitman. We notice patterns." Derek's smile cracked. "Investors. The Chens weren't just customers." 9:05. The kitchen exploded with whispers. "He's coming!" "Harrison's here." But Madison noticed something else. A second car following Harrison's Bentley, a black Tesla, parking across the street. Someone inside watching. "Places!" Derek shoved Madison toward the kitchen. "Disappear. Now." She planted her feet. "No." The word hung in the air like suspended crystal. "Security." Derek's voice cracked. Tony approached, each step heavy. 6'4", former Marine, gentle giant who ate Madison's brownies every Friday. "What's the issue?" "Remove her." "Physically, if necessary." "Derek," Tony said quietly, "maybe we should, your job or hers, choose." The dining room fell silent. Forks suspended midair. Phones emerged like weapons. The couple at table 3 started live streaming. "Racial discrimination at La Maison," the woman narrated. "Watch this, 9:07. Tony's hand reached for Madison's shoulder. "Tony," Madison said softly, "your daughter Keisha. She's studying law, right? Howard University?" Tony froze. His daughter. Same school Madison's father had donated $10 million to last year. Same school where Madison guest lectured monthly. I can't do this." Tony stepped back. "Then you're fired." Derek exploded. The doors opened. Not Harrison. Not yet. A woman entered first. Elegant, 50s, designer everything. She surveyed the scene. Derek red-faced, Madison standing firm. "Phone's recording everything." "Interesting," she murmured, typing on her phone. Then Harrison entered. Silver hair, sharp suit, eyes that had built an empire. He absorbed everything in seconds. The tension, the recording phones, Madison by the service station, Derek's aggressive stance. "Mr. Harrison." Derek rushed forward. "Welcome. Everything's prepared, is it?" Harrison's voice could cut glass. Because I see my customers standing instead of eating. I see phones recording instead of enjoying meals. I see chaos instead of service. A minor staff issue, sir. This waitress, her name, Derek blinked. Sorry? The waitress has a name. Use it. Madison. She's being insubordinate. Madison Williams? Harrison's eyebrow raised. The temperature dropped. Derek's mouth opened, closed, opened again. How did Harrison know her full name? 23 restaurants, 2,000 employees, and he knew one waitress's surname? Yes, sir. Harrison looked at Madison. Really looked. Like he was seeing something others couldn't. Miss Williams, are you well? Yes, Mr. Harrison. Good. He turned to Derek. Explain why my highest performing server is standing here instead of working. Highest? Derek stammered. How do you... I review every employee metric weekly. Madison Williams. 30% higher sales. Perfect customer scores. Speaks 4 languages. Cornell graduate. Each fact landed like a punch. So I'll ask again, why is she not working? She doesn't fit our aesthetic standards. The words hung there. Ugly. Exposed. Someone gasped. The live stream viewer count hit 10,000. Aesthetic standards, Harrison repeated slowly. Elaborate. The clientele expects a certain presentation. You mean white. I didn't say, you didn't have to. Harrison pulled out his phone. Sarah, are you getting this? The elegant woman from earlier waved. Every word, Michael. The legal team will love this. Legal team. Sarah Morrison, Harrison Group's chief counsel. She'd been recording everything on a hidden camera. Mr. Harrison, Derek pleaded, I can explain upstairs. Now. Harrison's tone could freeze hell. Madison, you too. She doesn't need... Derek started. Harrison stepped close. Whispered something. Derek went pale, looked at Madison, then back at Harrison. His legs nearly buckled. The elevator doors closed on 3 people. But only 2 would have jobs when they opened. Madison felt her phone vibrate. 1 word, now. The real show was about to begin. 9:12 p.m. The elevator rose. 3 people, 3 different heartbeats. Derek straightened his tie, recovering his arrogance. Mr. Harrison, this girl has been spreading lies about me. This girl? Harrison's voice could cut steel. Her name is Madison. Fine. Madison has been creating drama since day 1. Ask anyone. 5th floor. The doors opened to executive territory. Madison had cleaned these offices at 5 a.m. when Derek demanded she help out beyond her serving duties. Now she walked in as a guest. Harrison's office sprawled across half the floor. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Original Basquiat on the wall. Photos on his desk, turned away, unreadable. Sit, Harrison commanded. They sat. Derek spread out like he owned the place. Madison perched carefully, calculating. Tell me, Derek, Harrison began, about your hiring practices. Completely legal. I have documentation, I'm sure you do. Harrison pulled out a folder. Fascinating reading. 62 applicants this year. 41 were minorities. You hired 2. They weren't qualified, like Jerome Banks, 25 years at Le Bernardin. You said his appearance was too street. Derek's confidence cracked slightly. How did you... Or Keela Washington. Valedictorian at CIA, you told her she wasn't elegant enough. Each name landed like a punch. Madison watched Derek squirm. Those are taken out of context. Harrison's phone rang. Speaker mode? Michael? A woman's voice. The video from downstairs just went viral. 150,000 views in 12 minutes. CNN wants a statement. Derek grabbed his phone. His face went white. There he was, grabbing Madison's arm. Get your black hands off that wine! Clear as day. Unmistakable. Delete it. Derek lunged at Madison. You recorded me! I didn't, Madison said calmly. Table 3 did. The Korean couple. They live-stream food experiences. 9:22 p.m. The door opened. A black woman entered. Late 20s. Law degree visible in her posture. Mr. Harrison, I'm Aisha Thompson from the Labor Department. We received 17 complaints about La Maison, all naming Derek Whitman. This is a setup. Derek stood. They coordinated this. 17 different employees over 3 years coordinated? Aisha raised an eyebrow. That would be impressive. She opened her briefcase. Maria Santos. Denied promotion 6 times despite perfect reviews. Told she didn't have the right look. Jasmine Liu. Assigned only kitchen prep despite being a certified sommelier. Told her accent was too strong. She was born in Manhattan. The list continued. Each name a nail. Each story a hammer. These are misunderstandings. Like this, Aisha pulled out a printout. Your email to HR. We need to maintain standards. The urban element is getting too strong. Prioritize traditional candidates. Derek's personal email. How did they have that? 9:30 p.m. Harrison stood, walked to his desk, picked up one of those photos. Derek, you know what built my empire? Talent. Not color, talent. He turned the photo, a young black man in chef whites, standing next to a younger Harrison. James Williams. Best chef I ever hired. Saved my first restaurant. Williams. Madison's breath caught. Died 5 years ago. Harrison continued. But his legacy lives on. Through his children. His connections. His friends who remember. What does this have to do with everything? Harrison's eyes were steel. James faced discrimination his entire career. I swore at his funeral, never again in my restaurants. Another knock. Carlos entered, Sophie behind him, then Tony, then 5 more servers. Then 10. The office filled with staff. What is this? Derek backed against the wall. We're done, Carlos said simply. All of us. If Derek stays, we go. You can't, Derek sputtered. This is coordinated intimidation. No, Sophie stepped forward. This is consequences. She pulled out her phone. 3 months of notes. Every racist comment. Every discriminatory action. Shared with the whole staff. We were waiting for the right moment. And Madison, Tony added. She was our proof that someone was listening. That someone cared. 9:38 p.m. Harrison's phone buzzed. He read, smiled coldly. The restaurant critics just coordinated. 12 major reviewers. They're pulling La Maison's recommendations until we address the discrimination. Derek's phone rang. His wife. He declined it. It rang again. Answer it, Harrison ordered. Lauren, the school called, she screamed. There's a video of you using the N-word. It's everywhere! The partners at my firm are having an emergency meeting about me. The N-word. Madison's spine straightened. I never said, March 10th, Aisha interrupted. Kitchen camera. Audio enhanced by forensics. You thought you whispered it. Technology. The great equalizer. 9:42 p.m. Derek crumbled. What do you want? Justice. Madison spoke for the first time in 10 minutes. Real change. I'll resign. Quietly. Just make this stop. No. Harrison's voice was granite. Public resignation. Public apology. Full cooperation with the investigation. That'll destroy my career? Like you destroyed 41 careers? Madison stood. Like you destroyed dreams? She walked to the window, Manhattan glittering below. You know what's really sad, Derek? You're talented. You could have succeeded with integrity. Instead, you chose hate. Derek's phone buzzed. A text from his mother. How could you? We didn't raise you like this. Personal, professional, familial. Every world collapsing at once. You have 60 seconds, Harrison said. Decide, resign with some dignity or be destroyed completely. I need more time. 50 seconds. The room watched. The staff. The labor department. The internet. All waiting. 30 seconds. Derek looked around. No allies, no escape. No options. 10 seconds. I resign. The words exploded out. I resign. I apologize. I'll cooperate with everything. Silence. Then Harrison walked over, extended his hand. Not for a shake. Palm up your keys. Your company card. Your passwords now. Derek handed them over, hands shaking. Madison? Harrison turned to her. Would you like to say anything? She looked at Derek. 8 months of humiliation. 8 months of documentation. 8 months of patience, yes, she said. You're not special, Derek. You're one of hundreds. And we're coming for all of you, the room erupted. But Madison wasn't done. She had one more card to play. The biggest one, but not yet. Let Derek think this was over. It was just beginning. 9:45 p.m. Derek signed his resignation, thinking it was over. The staff had dispersed, celebrating in the hallway. But Madison remained. Harrison remained. And the door was locked I need to leave. Derek stood. My wife, sit down, Harrison commanded. We're not finished. Derek sat, confused. I resigned. What more do you want? Madison's phone buzzed. A text she made sure Derek could see. Car ready. Times editor waiting. Dad, editor, Times. Sorry, Madison said, not looking sorry at all. I need to take this, she dialed. Speaker on. Hi, Dad. Princess, how did it go? That voice. Derek knew that voice. From Bloomberg interviews, from CNN, from Forbes conferences, Robert Williams. No, Derek whispered. Everything's documented, Madison continued. 8 months of evidence. The story runs tomorrow. Good. The acquisition papers are signed. Harrison Hospitality is officially ours. All 23 restaurants, acquisition. 23 restaurants, theirs. Madison hung up. Watched Derek's face cycle through confusion, disbelief, horror. You're not... Derek's voice cracked. You can't be Madison Williams, she said simply. Daughter of Robert Williams. Yes, that Robert Williams. She pulled out her real wallet. The one she'd hidden for 8 months. Black Centurion card. Harvard Club membership. Columbia Journalism ID? Journalism? My real job. Investigative journalist. Specializing in workplace discrimination. You've been my subject for 8 months. Derek stood, shaking. This is illegal. Fraud. Deception. It's called investigative journalism, Harrison interrupted. Completely legal. Ask the lawyers. Madison opened her laptop. Showed Derek the article layout. 8 months in hell, a billionaire's daughter exposes restaurant racism. New York Times, front page, tomorrow. You can't publish that without what? Your permission? Madison laughed. Every word is factually documented. Every incident recorded. Every witness verified. She scrolled through the article. Derek's photo, his quotes, his emails to HR about maintaining standards and avoiding the urban element. How did you get my emails? Whistleblower. Someone in HR despised you. Gave us everything. 9:55 p.m. Madison stood, walked to the window. Manhattan glittered below. Want to know why I really did this, Derek? She turned, and for the first time, Derek saw real emotion in her eyes. Pain. 5 years ago. Uncle James, my father's best friend? Brilliant chef. Applied here. You interviewed him. Derek's memory stirred. James. Older black man. Incredible resume. You told him he was overqualified. Really meant wrong color. That's not... I have the recording. Madison pulled out her phone. Derek's voice, 5 years younger but unmistakable. Listen, James, you're talented, but our clientele expects a certain aesthetic in the kitchen. Where did you... James recorded everything. Gave it to my father before he died. Heart attack. 3 months later. Stress-induced. She let that sink in. You killed him. Not literally, but you killed his spirit. His dream, Harrison spoke up. James was my friend too. When Robert approached me about buying my restaurants, I had one condition. Clean house first. Document everything. Make it airtight. So Madison went undercover, Derek pieced together, for Uncle James, for every person you crushed, for justice. 10 p.m. The office door opened. Not dramatically, quietly. A young black woman entered, early 20s, nervous. Kayla? Derek recognized her. The girl he'd rejected in February. Hi, Mr. Whitman. Her voice was steady. I'm here for my new job. New job? Harrison smiled. Kayla starts tomorrow. As head hostess. The position you said she wasn't elegant enough for. Madison added. We've hired back everyone you rejected. Jerome, head sommelier. Maria, floor manager. All 41 people you discriminated against. They all have jobs now. You can't just... We can. We own everything. Madison pulled up legal documents on her phone. Williams Entertainment Group purchased Harrison Hospitality 3 days ago. Every restaurant you blacklisted people from, we own them. The scope hit Derek. 23 restaurants. All his connections. All his network. Gone. But that's not the best part, Madison continued. Show him, Harrison. Harrison opened his desk drawer. Pulled out a folder marked Confidential. Your side business, Derek. The one you think nobody knows about. Derek went white. What side business? The recruitment firm. Whitman Hospitality Staffing. Where you send all the minorities who applied here. Charged them fees for job placement, then blacklisted them everywhere. That's not illegal. Taking money for jobs that don't exist, that's fraud. The FBI thinks so too. FBI. The word hung heavy. They'll be here tomorrow, Madison said casually. Wire fraud. Mail fraud. 20 years, potentially. 10:10 p.m. Derek's phone rang. His lawyer. Don't answer, Madison said. Let me guess, Richard Brennan? Tennis club, buddy? How did she know everything? Richard's busy anyway. The FBI just raided his office. Seems he helped you hide assets. Offshore accounts. Tax evasion, Derek answered the phone. Richard's panicked voice. They know everything. They have documents. Don't say anything. Don't. Line dead. By the way, Madison added, the Cayman account? The one with $3 million? Frozen as of an hour ago. Derek collapsed into the chair. How long have you been planning this? Since Uncle James's funeral. 2 years. Madison's voice was cold. We researched every racist manager in fine dining. You were the worst. Most documented complaints. Most lives destroyed. Perfect target. She pulled out a small device. This necklace? The ugly one you made me wear? Hidden camera. Recorded everything. Every racist comment. Every discriminatory act. 8 months of evidence. Entrapment. Documentation. Learn the difference. 10:15 p.m. Madison gathered her things, but not the cheap purse she'd carried. Her real one, her mess, limited edition. Worth more than Derek's car. The saddest part? She paused at the door. You're talented, Derek. You could have succeeded legitimately. Instead, you chose hate. She pulled out one last document. Your mortgage? The bank called it in. Seems they don't like lending to people under federal investigation. They can't. They can. Check the terms. Criminal investigation clause. House, job, freedom, everything crumbling in one night. Why? Derek begged. Why destroy me completely? Madison turned back. Destroy you? Derek, I'm giving you something you never gave others, a chance to rebuild. From zero, like every person you crushed had to do. This is revenge. No. Revenge would be making you work 8 months as the only white server in an all-black restaurant, paid less, insulted daily, dreams crushed systematically. That would be revenge. She stepped back into the room, faced him directly. This is consequence. Every action has one. You've avoided yours for 15 years. Tonight they all come due. Harrison stood. Security will escort you out in 5 minutes. Clean out your office. Don't take anything that belongs to the company. Everything belongs to the company. Exactly. 10:20 p.m. They left Derek alone, broken, finished. In the elevator, Madison finally let out a breath she'd held for 8 months. Think he learned anything? Harrison asked. No, but others will. Every racist manager in America just got scared. That's enough. The elevator opened. Outside, news vans waited. The story was exploding. Madison smiled. Tomorrow, Derek would discover one final surprise. The 41 people he'd rejected? They weren't just hired. They were given shares in the company. His victims would become his owners. Poetic justice. Served at exactly the right temperature. 10:25 p.m. The boardroom erupted in chaos. You can't do this. Richard Sterling, COO, slammed his fist on the mahogany table. This is corporate sabotage. 23 screens flickered alive. Restaurant managers from across America summoned to emergency conference. Half didn't know why. The other half had seen Derek's live-streamed humiliation. Madison stood at the head of the table. Gone was the Waitress uniform, Armani suit, Cartier watch, power radiating from every gesture. Good evening, she began. I'm Madison Williams. Your new boss. Like hell you are, Richard snarled. Security. No one moved. Harrison had already briefed them. Richard, sit down, Harrison said quietly. Or be removed. You betrayed us, Michael. 30 years of friendship. 30 years of watching you discriminate, Harrison corrected. I'm done enabling it. Madison clicked a remote. The main screen lit up with numbers that made managers gasp. La Maison revenue this quarter, down 42%. Click. Reason, discrimination lawsuits. 3 settling this month, 12 million total. Click. Your insurance company just dropped you. No one will cover liability for systematic discrimination. A manager from Chicago interrupted. Miss Williams, these allegations are Tom Bradley, right? Madison didn't let him finish. Yesterday you fired Jasmine Wu, said her accent was too strong. She was born in Nebraska. Tom's face reddened on screen. How could you possibly? Because Jasmine called me, crying. She's my friend from Columbia. You fired a Fulbright scholar because she looked too Asian. The room shifted. This wasn't just business. It was personal. 10:35 p.m. Richard tried again. The board won't stand for... What board? Robert Williams entered, presence filling the room. I own 100% of this company. Bought it 72 hours ago. Cash deal, no board. No votes, just me. Managers started panicking on screens. Miami disconnected. Dallas tried to. Anyone who leaves this call is terminated immediately, Robert announced. No severance. No references. Potential criminal investigation. Dallas reconnected. Miami too. Criminal? Someone squeaked. Madison pulled up a presentation. Every location. Every manager. Every violation. Documented. The screen filled with evidence. Boston. Blacks in back, written on scheduling board Phoenix. Applications sorted by race in folders Portland. Email chain mocking Spanish-speaking staff Denver. Security called on black customers preemptively. These are all felonies under federal civil rights law, Madison explained. We can prosecute. Or you can cooperate. Richard stood defiant. You're bluffing. This is theater. Is this theater? Madison played a recording. Richard's voice from last month. I don't care if she's qualified. No hijabs in my restaurants. This is America. The woman he'd rejected was Aisha Hassan, Harvard MBA, CIA graduate. Michelin-starred experience. She's suing, Madison added. Personal lawsuit. Against you, Richard. Your house is at risk. 10:42 p.m. The resistance began crumbling. What do you want? Richard asked, defeated. Complete reformation. Madison unveiled the Madison Protocol. First, every rejected minority applicant from 5 years gets job offers. Full back pay from when they should have been hired. That's millions, 12 million, versus 100 million in lawsuits. Choose. Second, AI-controlled scheduling. No human bias. Shifts assigned by algorithm based on availability and performance only. Third, body cameras on all managers. Every interaction recorded. Reviewed weekly. That's dystopian. Tom from Chicago protested. So is discrimination, Madison shot back. You created this need for surveillance. Fourth, monthly polygraph tests about discriminatory behavior. Polygraphs aren't admissible. In court, no. For employment, completely legal. Refuse the test, lose your job. 10:48 p.m. A manager from Seattle raised her hand on screen. Ms. Williams, some of us tried to fight this. We filed reports about Derek, about Richard. Madison's expression softened. Catherine Chen, I know. You're promoted to regional director. Effective immediately. What? We know who fought and who participated. Fighters get promoted. Participants get one chance. Perpetrators get prosecuted. She pulled up another list. Green names, yellow names, red names. Green, you're safe. Promoted, bonused. Yellow, probation. 1 year to prove yourself. Red, you're done. Tonight. 15 red names. Including Richard. Including Tom. You can't fire 15 managers simultaneously, Richard protested. The restaurants will collapse. Already handled, Madison smiled. Remember the 41 people Derek rejected? They've been training secretly for 2 weeks. They take over tomorrow. Training where? My father's hotels. We flew them in, housed them, trained them. They're ready. The coup was complete. Every angle covered. Every move anticipated. 10:55 p.m. Richard made his last stand. I'll go to the press. Tell them this is reverse discrimination. White managers being purged? Try it, Madison said. We have 8 years of your emails, including the one where you called Barack Obama an affirmative action president and said you'd never hire anyone who looked like him. She pulled it up on screen. CC'd to 30 people. All willing to testify. Or this one, she continued, where you bragged about keeping wages low for immigrants because they can't complain without papers. Those were private. On company servers. We own them now. Madison walked to the window, Manhattan glowing below. You have 2 choices, Richard. Retire quietly with partial pension, or fight and lose everything, money, reputation, freedom. Partial pension? Half. The other half goes to Discrimination Victims Fund. That's theft. That's mercy. The alternative is prison. She turned back, faced him directly. Your son, William. He's at Wharton, right? Senior year? Richard went pale. Leave my son. Did you leave the sons and daughters of people you discriminated against out of it? How many dreams did you crush? How many families suffered? She let it hang. William's not touched. But his tuition next semester? That's on you. Choose wisely. 11 p.m. One by one, the red names surrendered. Tom, I'll retire. Jennifer from Miami. Me too. Marcus from Portland. Can I get a lawyer? You'll need one, Madison said. The FBI raids start tomorrow. Finally, only Richard remained. 30 years, he said quietly. I built this empire. On the backs of people you oppressed, Harrison responded. I let it happen, my shame, but no more. Richard looked at Madison. Young, black, female. Everything he'd tried to keep out. Now she held his fate. Fine, he whispered. I retire, Madison nodded. Statement admitting discrimination. Published tomorrow, or the videos go public. Agreed. 11:05 p.m. The call ended. Managers disconnected, worlds shattered and rebuilt. The old guard fallen. New order rising. Madison collapsed into a chair, exhaustion hitting. You did it, Harrison said. You actually did it. No, she corrected. We did it. All 41 rejected applicants. All 243 victims who testified. Derek thought he was crushing individuals. He was creating an army, her phone buzzed. The Times editor, going to print. This will change everything, Madison smiled. Tomorrow, every restaurant in America would wake up afraid. Afraid to discriminate. Afraid to oppress. Good. Fear was the beginning of change. 11:15 p.m. La Maison's dining room, empty but electric with change, Madison stood among broken glass. Derek's last tantrum. Tomorrow, 7 a.m. sharp, this place would reopen. New management. New rules. New world. They're here, Carlos called out. But only 12 came. Not 41. Where are the others? Madison asked Jerome Banks, the sommelier Derek had rejected. Scared, Jerome said honestly. They think this is too good to be true. Or a trap, Madison understood. Trust once shattered doesn't rebuild overnight. Then we start with 12, she decided. Prove it's real. Others will follow. She handed out positions, but kept expectations realistic. Jerome, sommelier, not executive yet. Prove himself first. Maria Santos, shift manager, not operations director immediately. Keila Washington, hostess supervisor. Learn, then lead. I know you deserve more, Madison explained. But lasting change requires credibility. Show the world you're excellent. Then take everything. 11:25 p.m., the kitchen staff emerged, mostly immigrants Derek had underpaid. What about us? Asked Miguel, prep cook for 6 years. We stay? Get fired? You get raises, Madison announced. $15 to $22 hourly, immediate. But that's more than what white prep cooks make elsewhere? Exactly. Equal pay starts now. Miguel translated to Spanish for others. Tears, disbelief, joy, but also fear. The new managers, they'll be like Derek? Ask them yourself. Madison gestured to Maria, who'd worked beside them. Maria spoke in Spanish. Remember when Derek made me cry in the freezer? You gave me your lunch. Now I'm your manager. But we're still family. The kitchen staff relaxed. Same struggle, different positions now. 11:35 p.m. Madison's phone exploded with calls. Other restaurant owners, panicking. Block them all, her father advised. Let them sweat. Tomorrow, they'll beg for consulting. She put one call on speaker, competitor from across the street. Madison, your article is destroying us. Protesters outside. Staff quitting. Please tell them we're not all like Derek. Prove it, Madison replied. Open your books. Show your hiring data. Submit to audit. That's private. So was our dignity. You watched Derek discriminate for years. Said nothing. Now face consequences, she hung up. No mercy for enablers. 11:40 p.m. In Derek's former office, they found more evidence. Look, Keila discovered a ledger. He was taking kickbacks. Charging suppliers extra, pocketing differences. And this, Jerome found receipts. Selling wine meant for the restaurant. Personal profit. Not just racist, also a thief. FBI will want this, Madison noted. Add 5 more years to his sentence. Carlos spoke up. Madison, honest question. How do we know you won't become like them? Power corrupts. Fair question. Important question. You don't, Madison admitted. That's why the Madison Protocol includes accountability. Monthly reviews by staff. Annual audits by third parties. I can be removed if I discriminate. She pulled out a contract. I'm signing same restrictions I'm imposing. Body camera. Recorded meetings. Full transparency. Even you, especially me. Power without oversight created Derek. Never again. 11:45 p.m. Local news arrived, wanting statements. Madison brought Maria forward. Tell them your story. Maria faced cameras, nervous but determined. 6 years ago, I applied here. Perfect qualifications. Derek said I wasn't polished enough. Today, I run this place. To everyone who's been rejected, don't give up. Change is coming. The reporter asked Madison, what about customers who don't want diverse staff? They can eat elsewhere, Madison said flatly. Racists' money isn't welcome here. You'll lose business. We'll gain more. New York is diverse. America is diverse. We're just catching up to reality. 11:50 p.m. The 12 new managers stood in the destroyed dining room. I'm scared, Keela admitted. What if we fail? Prove Derek, right? Then we fail, Madison said. But we failed trying. Derek never gave us the chance to try. She pulled out corporate cards. Not gold, that was flashy. Simple black cards, professional, dignified, 10,000 limit initially. Prove yourselves, it increases. Jerome held his card like precious metal. My name on a corporate card. After everything. Everything's changing, Madison said. But change is hard. Customers will test you. Some staff will resist. Media will watch for failure. She looked each in the eye. You weren't chosen because you're perfect. You were chosen because you survived Derek. If you survived him, you can survive anything. 11:55 p.m. Madison raised a glass of water. Not wine, clear, honest water. To Uncle James, to everyone Derek destroyed. To tomorrow's challenges. To proving that excellence has no color. They toasted as midnight struck. Day 1 of the revolution had begun. 6 months later. February 15th. Exactly 1 year since Derek rejected Keela Washington. Madison stood at La Maison's entrance, watching something remarkable. Derek Whitman in a cheap suit standing in line, applying for a job. I need work, he told Keela, not recognizing her. Any position, dishwasher, anything. Keela studied his application. Prison release last week. Assets, 0. References, none, Mr. Whitman, she said gently. I'm Keela Washington. You rejected me last year, said I wasn't elegant enough. Derek's face crumbled. Recognition, shame, defeat. Please, he whispered. I have nothing. My family won't speak to me. I'm living in my car. Madison watched from her office camera. The moment of ultimate power. Keela could destroy him with one word. You start tomorrow, Keela said. Minimum wage, dishwasher, one condition. You attend every diversity training. Miss One, you're fired. Derek's tears fell onto the application. Thank you. Don't thank me. Thank Madison Williams. She taught us mercy matters more than revenge. That video went viral too. Different message. Redemption possible. Even for Derek. The numbers after 6 months. Revenue up 42%. But deeper changes mattered more. Suicide hotline calls from restaurant workers dropped 60% in New York. Industry-wide discrimination complaints fell by half. The Madison Protocol became federal law. Senator Phillips, facing electoral destruction after his recorded conversations with Derek surfaced, desperately sponsored its seeking redemption. But the cost had been real. Madison's bodyguards stopped 3 attack attempts. Her father's hotels faced boycotts in conservative states. Lawsuits from displaced managers totaled $30 million. Worth it. Maria's daughter just started Harvard Medical School. Because Mom showed me we belong everywhere. Jerome's wine school graduated its first class. 25 sommeliers of color entering fine dining. Carlos opened his own restaurant. Fair wages. Equal opportunity. Madison Protocol certified. Today, Madison received a letter, handwritten, from Derek's mother. Thank you for giving my son a second chance. He was raised better, forgot his humanity. You reminded him. He talks about you constantly, not with anger, with awe. You broke him, then let him rebuild. That's divine. Madison kept serving one shift monthly. Last week, a young black woman approached her. Are you Madison Williams? Yes, I just got promoted. First black manager at my restaurant. Because of your story. Because they're terrified of becoming the next Derek. Fear and hope. Twin engines of change. Madison thought of Uncle James. He died believing things wouldn't change. But black stories like his created warriors like Madison. Life stories of discrimination became touching stories of triumph. Real-life stories that proved justice was possible. Her phone buzzed. Another scandal. Another restaurant exposed. Another CEO begging for help. The work never ended. But neither did the victories. 1 year ago, Derek told Madison she didn't belong. Now she owned everything he'd valued, and she'd given him a job cleaning dishes. Justice served at exactly the right temperature. What discrimination have you faced? Share below. Let's expose them all. Subscribe to Black Shadows Speak for more stories of underdogs who became kings. Remember, they can break you, but if you document everything, you can break their world.